What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. And there is a lot of news. I'm not sure what that means, a lot of news right now, because actually there's been a lot of news all the time, but nothing is happening. But this time, today, the news is extremely confusing, going from the Jaden Sancho deal actually being fake all along, apparently, according to David Ornstein, who's an extremely reliable journalist, like one of the best out there. Then there is a weird swap deal between Porto and Juve for Alberto Costa and Joao Mario, which is actually insane that we are potentially downgrading on Alberto Costa, who, by the way, in himself is not good enough right now to start, to be honest. Then we have an update on Molina, because he is one of the main targets right now, and talks are actually kicking off for Molina. Hulmand, we actually did hold talks with Sporting. That's been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. And then the striker list is growing, and it's getting weirder by the day, basically. So before we get in all of that, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, as always. And also in the comments, let me know, do you prefer me to do the videos just rattling off the news without giving an opinion and just giving you the news? Or do you want me to, keep doing what I've always done and give my opinions on it, because that's how I prefer it. Otherwise, you can just, read the tweets and that's about it. If I don't give an opinion on it, we cannot have a discussion. But if you like it the other way, I will try to, include it a bit more as well. But let's start off first by talking. Let's start off by the weird deal, by the swap deal. Because Romano came out very late, actually this morning over here, saying that Porto have offered Joao Mario to Juve and 3 million euros in exchange for Alberto Costa, because that's one of the options right now that's out there. And there are other reports suggesting that, well, Juve find it interesting. Now, probably you guys, some of you guys, have watched more Porto than me. Joao Mario is not good. And it's not the Joao Mario from Inter, by the way. He's not good. He's actually not good. And I've not seen tons of him, but from the little I've seen, he's poor. Like he's actually poor. The fact that Porto are offering him and money on top of that is extremely concerning in himself. If you never watched him play, if you watched him play like I did a couple of times, he's not good. He's actually not good. And to be honest, people know what I think. I don't think Alberto Costa is all that good. He cannot defend, and I think that's still important in the position you play. You need to be defensively decent enough, and Alberto Costa is not even decent enough. He can maybe become good enough defensively, but right now he's not. So you're swapping a player for another player which is not good at all, period. So that's insane, just to make a 3 million profit, because reports are suggesting that the club actually thinks it's an interesting package because of the money, 3 million euros, and the value on the books, etc. And they like Joao Mario. I cannot believe they like Joao Mario. I'm not gonna lie. If they do, that's insane. That's insane. Unless they've seen something I didn't see, and he comes in and he's unbelievable. But I've not seen that from Joao Mario. And actually, I've not spoken to one person who's seen that from Joao Mario. However, that's one of the links out there that we need to keep track of, because Alberto Costa wants to go to Sporting. Sporting, he wants to go to Portugal. He has no issues with that. And the club is clearly open to moving on Alberto Costa. So that's one of the links. Extremely strange, in my opinion. Now the twist. Jaden Sancho from David Ornstein, who is top tier, especially when it comes to English players, Man U players, whatever, he's top tier. And he said that Sancho has been heavily rumored to be closing in on a move to Juve. That's not accurate, as I understand, at all, and I'm not quite sure where that news is coming from. Wow, bomba, basically, because every Juve insider, Italian sources are saying, even Alfredo Pedula yesterday evening saying, actually, it is close. Everything is basically agreed. They're just waiting to finalize it and, make a couple of sales here and there. But I need to trust David Ornstein on this, because he is well connected, like extremely connected. But then I go back and I'm like, Italian sources cannot be this wrong, because they're all putting their face, like they're putting everything on the line, saying, well, actually it's a done deal for Jaden Sancho. Like it's not a toss up. Like that's it. We need to just maybe move out Timothy Weah and just sign the papers. And then you have Alberto Costa. You have David Ornstein saying the complete opposite of that. That for me is mind-boggling. It really is. And if that's the case, that's incompetence of a new level for this club. This has nothing to do with, do you like Jaden Sancho or do you not like Jaden Sancho? This has everything to do with it's the 22nd of July, and we have regressed. We lost Colomani, and you signed Jonathan David. Did we get better? Not really. Not really. We might have got worse because now we have players who actually do not want to be at the club, or we do not want at the club but are still at the club and they know they should be leaving. So the situation at the club is worse. It's actually worse. And we kick off pre-season next week. The squad is worse. This is ridiculous, and this is an all-time stinking mercato. Whatever happens, it's stinky because it's already too late. Players are coming in too late. You can write that down right now. Players are coming in throughout mid-season. When the season kicks off, this is a disaster. No matter who we sign, the window is a disaster because you already set up to door to fail already, like we did with Motta last season, bringing in players extremely late. And this is happening again and again and again. This is horrible. Horrible. And I'll give Komoli time because he just came into the job, but that doesn't mean I need to sit here and say he's doing a fantastic job or lie, because he's not been doing a fantastic job. He's actually doing a horrible job. A horrible job. But let's move on, because Alberto and Sancho I talked about. Fabrizio Romano talked about Yulman, saying that Sporting had also talks with Juve for Alberto Costa and Yulman. So we're still interested in Yulman, but obviously Douglas Luiz needs to leave, who's still at the club, no offers. I don't care if West Ham are interested, or Nottingham Forest or Fulham. There are no Everton. There are no offers, so I don't care. Like, it's pointless. There are no offers. He's still at the club. We cannot do anything. You can hold talks, and well, that's about it. So Yeoman still the number one target if sales are being made, obviously. Molina, that's the next one, because we are in talks with Atletico Madrid for Molina, initial talks, because Atletico Madrid want to move him out. They're open to a loan with an option, actually, maybe a more expensive loan or a loan with an obligation, giving you a cheaper loan deal this summer, but they value him at 25 and 30 million. And this is hilarious because, first off, we cannot sell. And this illustrates, again, we cannot sell. They bought him from Udinese, if I'm not mistaken, around 20 million. He didn't improve, and they're asking for more money. We have players sometimes improve, and we set the price at an all-time low. Molina hasn't improved. He's not a starter at Atletico Madrid. They want him out for a reason. He's not been good for Atletico Madrid. I cannot believe we're interested in Molina as well because of the cost, probably his wages. He hasn't improved one bit since he last left Udinese. How is that not warning signs for the club? Because you're looking to improve and you're bringing in players who haven't improved over the last 2-3 years. How is that a good deal? I don't get it. But the fact that Atletico want more and we're actually kind of okayish to pay more than they paid, knowing that he hasn't had the kick up his ass in his career that he should have, is extremely worrying. However, like Mirko Di Natale said, Atletico Madrid are open to a loan, so it's interesting for the club. It's a loan deal, and if it's a loan deal, the club is obviously there this summer. So Molina, it's a concrete target right now. You need to take it serious. Right back, you're moving out Timothy Weah, who's actually not really a right back. Maybe Alberto Costa. Well, you're going to need players. He's one of them because the deal could be extremely favorable for the club, especially when it comes to loan deals as well. Now, let's move on to the strikers, because we have Darwin Núñez, we have Colomani, we have Højlund, we have Ramos, and we have Vlahovic. That's all kicking off. Darwin Núñez, the club wants him, but it's expensive. Højlund is more cheaper because Man U are that desperate that they're willing to loan him out, with an option to buy. So that makes you a cheap option for the club, maybe laid down the window. Then you have Sergio Ramos. He can leave PSG on a loan with an option, unlike Colomani, who the club wants to sell because they know offers will come in. If you want Colomani, you're going to need to pay with an obligation, whatever. There's no loan with an option. That's not an option for PSG. So you're going to need to pay because they know they're going to get money from the Premier League. Sergio Ramos, different. They are willing to loan him out with an option. And then you have Vlahovic, because Milan are in talks with Vlahovic. They open initial talks. However, Milan do not want to spend more than 10 million euros for him, and Vlahovic is going to cut his wages in half. Then there are reports out there that Komolo will meet with Vlahovic to talk things over, but the situation is tense. So that's the striker conundrum. Darwin Núñez Kolomani, Ramos, Vlahovic, Højlund. Is that fantastic news? Absolutely not. It's not fantastic news. And in the meantime, you still have Milik chilling at the club, you know? So whatever is going to happen in that situation, that's all up in the air in my opinion, because we will never really know what's going to happen, because it's a strange situation, you know. Is this PSG going to change their mind? Yes or no? That's kind of how it is, you know. So that's the news of the day. And if things are going to change, I will keep you up to date. Like I said yesterday, no live shows from me during the holiday because Wi-Fi is, well, crap. Julian is going to do live shows a bit later, maybe, than the usual hours. But Julian will do live shows during these 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that. You know, go show Julian some love, because he's not been doing it for a while, but he's perfectly fine at doing, probably better than me, like I said yesterday. But yeah, that's it. Let me know in the comments, like the video, and I will speak to you guys tomorrow again. Ciao.